With more than 1 billion cars registered worldwide, it's a miracle that we don't have more accidents than we already do. But as it does turn out, not all roads are created equally, and today we're going to be looking at 20 of those most dangerous roads in the world. Let's begin, shall we? Number 20. The A44. This route was originally opened in 1923 as a connection between Chipping Norton and Aberystwyth in the United Kingdom. Since its construction, the route has undergone several expansions and reroutings over the years, and today it has the distinction of being one of the nation's most dangerous roads. Because it covers so much land, sections of the road feature chaotic twists and turns more often than not wrong that present deadly challenges to unprepared drivers and also some pretty prepared drivers. Number 19. The A683. Our 19th entry is the A683. This is another road through the UK that presents drivers with some unique challenges. It begins in the town of Kendal and runs northeast to the village of Tebay. While the road seems fairly unthreatening at first glance, statistics say otherwise, and it routinely claims the lives of more motorists every year than many of the UK's more obviously treacherous roads. Heck, in fact, the Road Safety Foundation rated it as one of England's 50 roads with the highest risk of fatal and serious collisions. Number 18. Route 5. Known locally as Route 5, this Chilean highway runs between Arica and Iquique. Covering 3,364 kilometers, it is Chile's longest road in the part of the Pan-American highway system. Route 5 is an incredibly picturesque journey that often leads drivers to become hypnotized by the road. Add to this the winding roads and deep valleys that make up much of its distance, and it's no surprise that the otherwise barren landscape is peppered with carcasses of burnt-out vehicles. Adding to the peril are frequent bouts of dense fog. Number 17. Sichuan-Tibet Highway. So far, our previous entries have been asphalt roadways that most of us would recognize as major routes, but this next road is terrifying just to look at, let alone drive on. The journey is so risky that those trying to make a chance getting caught in landslides, and even if you do make it to your destination, you will likely suffer some horrendous altitude sickness. The particularly treacherous stretch is part of China's 318 National Trunk Highway. Those brave enough to take the route are blessed with breathtaking views encapsulating slices of ancient China and stunning mountain views and forests. So, just how bad is it exactly? Well, on average, 7,500 per 100,000 who use it will perish without reaching their destination. Number 16. Patiopolo Paradikaki Road. Paradikaki is a tiny village with a population of just about 356. It sits at an altitude of 700 meters above sea level, and the road leading to it is one of the most dangerous roads in the world. Located in western Greece, the road climbs over 1,160 feet. Despite being poorly maintained and chock full of potholes, the road is also dangerously narrow with deadly corners with no markings on the shoulder and no guardrails to help keep drivers from plummeting haplessly over the edge. Number 15. A726. Known as one of Scotland's deadliest roads, there isn't any one factor that makes it especially deadly. However, for some reason, the 7-kilometer stretch of road claims over 40 lives every year. And while many are the result of head-on collisions, a shocking number involve pedestrians and cyclists. Experts point to twisty roads and very frequent merges as part of the reason for the road's dark reputation. Number 14. Route 431, or the Highway to Hell. Literally nicknamed the Highway to Hell, mind you. Route 431 in Alabama is among the United States' deadliest highways. One of the worst stretches lies between Seal and Barber County line. This section of roadway is rife with rolling hills that impede driver visibility of oncoming traffic, and ordinarily this might not be an issue, except for the fact that for many years this stretch of highway has been a single lane and drivers attempting to pass other motorists would find themselves in head-on collisions with unseen vehicles at the top of hills. In this small stretch, 31 people lost their lives between 1992 and 2006, leading Reader's Digest to proclaim it as one of America's deadliest highways in 2000. In 2003, the director of the Alabama Department of Transportation, or ALDOT, met with the family of an accident victim and was so touched by their pleas that he expedited the expansion of the entire Seal to Barber stretch. And today it is a 4-lane highway with far less annual fatalities than before. Number 13. Luxor Al Hurghada Road. So far, most of the entries on our list have been dangerous due mostly to the potential of a crash, but number 13 is dangerous for an entirely different reason altogether. This Egyptian road connects two major tourist centers, the ancient city of Luxor and Hurghada, the regional hub for scuba diving resorts. Because the road connects two tourist hotspots, it stands to reason the road is frequented by tourists. But also common on the road are bandits and terrorists who frequently rob and execute drivers. The peak of violence on this road was during the late 1990s, and to give you an idea of just how bad it was, in 1997, 62 German tourists were massacred by just 6 Islamic gunmen. Number 12. Fairy Meadows Way. Spanning 16.2 kilometers, this dangerous mountain road in the Gilgit-Baltistan region of Pakistan sits at an elevation of 3,300 meters above sea level. If the height wasn't enough to make you weak in the knees, you should also realize that there are no guardrails on this road and it is no wider than a Jeep Wrangler. You may assume that such a precarious road would probably be avoided at all costs, but the road is actually pretty well traveled, and when passing is necessary, it has to be done with extreme care to avoid plummeting thousands of feet into the seemingly endless chasm below. Number 11. Skipper's Canyon Road. Skipper's Canyon Road is located in the southwest of New Zealand's South Island. Surprisingly, this perilous route is actually one of New Zealand's better-known scenic roads. Among the various hazards it possessed, the road was constructed 140 years ago and is made from a very narrow cut in the side of a mountain. It is 16.5 miles long and is so notoriously dangerous that rental car insurance will not honor claims resulting from incidents on it. And there are a number every year. In fact, between 300 and 400 people lose their lives every year. Number 10. Halsema Highway. This next entry takes us all the way to the Philippines. This high-elevation roadway hits its peak at 7,400 feet and until 2019 was the highest altitude highway in the Philippines. And even though the new record holder is the Kiangan-Tinac-Buguayas Road in Tinac, Ifugao, the Halsema Highway is still the most hazardous to travel on. Parts of the highway are made from a type of asphalt that becomes extremely slippery when wet, and landslides are also a major hazard. Coupled with nearly endless blind corners and heavy fog, it is no wonder that Halsema Highway routinely receives mention as one of the world's most dangerous roads. Number 9. Vesubio Road. Otherwise known as Strada del 52 Gallery, is located on the massive Posibio in Ventello, Italy. The road was originally constructed in 1971 for military transport purposes. It features 52 crudely carved tunnels and sheer drops into the valley below. If the 200-meter elevation, narrow road, and uneven terrain weren't enough in good conditions, it should be noted that natural water from the mountain often drifts into the cave, making conditions even more treacherous. Number 8. Taroko Gorge Road. Located on the east coast of Taiwan, our number 8 road is a terrifying 19-kilometer drive plagued with winding twists and turns into a narrow roadway. This is also interspersed with single-lane tunnels, mind you. While poor record-keeping keeps us from knowing the exact numbers, this section of road is known to result in numerous injuries and fatalities annually. Number 7. Guoliang Tunnel Road. The Guoliang Tunnel is one of the most famous tunnels in the world, located along a sheer cliff face. This tiny tunnel presents unique obstacles for unsuspecting drivers. While it is 1.2 kilometers long, it is a mere 5 meters tall and 4 meters wide, meaning any loss of control is not an option. Number 6. Himalayan Road Network. The Himalayan mountain range is one of the most famous in the world, and every year it attracts millions of visitors. However, what wannabe globetrotters may not realize is that traveling through the mountains is no small task. The Himalayan Road Network is the name given to the multiple narrow roads that enable travel through that iconic area. Number 5. The BR-116. Sometimes called the Highway of Death, the BR-116 is a federal highway in Brazil. Unlike some of the other entries on today's list, it isn't a narrow pathway along the side of a mountain. In fact, it's probably much closer to the types of highways most of us are familiar with. Its fierce reputation comes from the many accidents caused by the unstable weather conditions, coupled with a winding design and the highest concentration of big rigs in the world. Number 4. The James Dalton Highway. Most commonly known as the Dalton Highway, this 666-kilometer roadway is located in Alaska and was once called the North Slope Haul Road, as it was opened primarily as a supply road to support the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System in 1974. The path is so treacherous that anyone traveling it is advised ahead of time to bring survival gear. Not only is the road icy and lacking in barriers and markings, but it's extraordinarily remote with medical care hundreds of miles away and weather conditions harsh throughout most of the year. Number 3. Commonwealth Avenue, or the Killer Highway. Our second entry from the Philippines, Commonwealth Avenue is often called the Killer Highway. Accidents on this highway don't just affect motorists, but cyclists and pedestrians as well. This 12.4-kilometer road with 18 lanes has virtually no rules or regulations for use. The accepted speed limit is around 60 kilometers an hour, but that is little consolation given that many parts of the road are hotspots for foot traffic and bicyclists. In total, the Killer Highway claims the lives of over 7,000 people every year, and that's an average of nearly 20 people a day. Now it's time for today's best pick. My pick for today may be one of the most incredible things you've probably ever seen for a highway. Number 2. This incredible seaside road is an engineering feat with its astounding drop and near vertical climb. Many vehicles are unable to complete the trek, however. By the time motorists reach the bottom, there is a high chance of hydroplaning during inclement weather. The glaring absence of a guardrail means that countless vehicles take the plunge into the water each year.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it, it really works.
Number 1. North Youngest Road. Located in Bolivia, the 60-kilometer stretch was given the name Road of Death due to the heavy rain and fog that covers the area. Coupled with uneven terrain and sharp winding turns, it is a popular destination for cyclists and has become a popular tourist destination. Despite its popularity, though, around 18 cyclists have perished on the road since 1998. How many of these roads would you be willing to drive on? Let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, that's our video for today, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.